Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm sharing a Christmas card using a newly released digital stamp from Rachelle Anne Miller. This one is part of the bonus release that went live today, and there are 3 incredibly cute images out there for you guys. And if you didn't see it yet, I have another video today on the Rachelle Anne Miller YouTube channel where I'm sharing some inspiration with another digital stamp. So this is my second video for today, but I just couldn't resist using at least 2 of these incredible new digital stamps. So therefore, extra joy, extra videos, extra inspiration. So this adorable image, and I will try to pronounce it correctly, is called Kookaburra and Koala. Now, I must be honest, when I started coloring, I didn't check the name of this digital stamp, so well, the coloring of this bird isn't really correct. It's more of a robin that I did here, and I really like how it turned out, but it's not a kookaburra, just so you know. But you can make it any bird you want, I think. So this is an adorable image, as I said already. I just loved it, and I really was so happy to be coloring this one. I went for Copics again. Lately, this has really been the medium for me this year, and so I had a lot of fun coloring this. As always, you can find all the Copic combinations listed on my blog post for each part of the images as much as possible. So I am coloring on Transotype Perfect Coloring paper. Also, this is a digital stamp, and this paper is actually not that thick, so it works with a printer. Depending on the thickness of your paper, it can be a bit of trouble, but I never had any issues with this paper. And the lovely thing about this paper is also that you can add as many layers as you need to without the issue of bleeding. So here on the tree, I'm not an expert, I'm not that kind of an artist to draw in things myself, but here I wanted to have it a bit more rustic, the tree, and sort of have those nerves on there. So I started with my darkest markers and just added a few stripes more, as you can see. And then I worked my way towards my lightest marker, blending it out towards each time a lighter marker. So that's what I did. It's quite a big surface, so definitely at least 2 layers, and if needed I can always add more, as I said. So here it was really a process. The first layer is most of the time rubbish, I must admit, definitely if you have large areas. But once I add a second layer, most of the time it really helps me, and if I want more depth I can always go back in. So here, as you can see, this tree turned out really light after my first layer, and so the second layer I knew that I could go a bit further and use a bit more of those darker markers. So that's what I will be doing right now. This is my darkest one, E77. I haven't used it a lot yet. I like color, however, it's not that dark. It's still a really soft color. Actually, this E59 seems a bit darker even than the E77, but I just use it anyway. And you will definitely see that after the second layer my tree became so much more darker. It's really funny. So I went all out there with the E37. I used it way more than previously, just because I had a lot of area where I had only the E33, and I wanted a bit more drama. And then I'm blending it out again. Really simple. I always think that it can look quite impressive in the end once everything is colored in, but if you just look at it step by step, then you can see how simple it can be if you just divide your parts step by step and just go until everything is finished. So for the koala, there are many colors that you can give to a koala. I went for grays because I already had a lot of browns going on with the bird and with the tree. So therefore my W's were really handy. And here as well, I first thought of adding the W5 as my darkest color, but then I found it a bit too light. So I wanted a bit more drama, and so I added the W6 with my second layer. You will see that later on, and it really helps giving a bit more drama, a bit more dimension to this cutie. Also, my light source, if you're interested, I sort of try to have a light source in the center. That's why the back of the bird on the left side is with the shadows, and the back of the koala on the right side is with the shadows. But anything works, and I personally don't find that you always need to take a light source into account. Just have fun, and as long as you like the end result, that's what you should have done. That's perfectly fine. So here is that W6, and it really adds a lot, I think. So I'm glad that I added it, but again, if you're not sure, then try to keep it as light as possible and just build up from there, and then you will see what works. And you can always add darker colors or more of that dark marker. Getting rid of it is way harder. So as you can see, the more layers you add, the more it helps with that dimension, but it's not hard at all. You just need to keep going until you're happy with it. And if you get at a certain point that the paper isn't taking on that ink anymore, sort of oversaturated, then use your heat gun or let your panel dry a bit on the side, and then continue after that. The paper will be back to square one, and you can add again several layers if you need to. And then the only thing that is left over are the accessories on this digital stamp. I decided today to have two colors to color in the ornaments and the hat, so I went for red and blue, sort of a teal blue. They both go really well together, and I love the combination of reds with grays and browns, as well as the blue with the grays and the browns. So therefore it was an easy choice. And you can definitely add several colors and just make it a gorgeous rainbow kind of vibey card. But I just went for a more of a simple look by using two colors. So here I have my reds, and then later on I will also add red to the package. Just adding a bit more layers wherever I need to. It's not always necessary. I think if you have a small surface that you don't necessarily need to add 3 layers. It's most of the time when I have a bigger area that it really helps me. But you have to decide for yourself. It might even be that you prefer 3 or 4 layers. Anything goes, as long as you're happy with the end result. So here as well, I try to sort of play a bit with the shadowing thingy. So that's why I changed it up. And then I saw that I went outside line with my hat, so I just fixed it there before continuing. Otherwise I would have forgotten it. So this is my combination for my BGs today. I went over it twice because, well, it's just a bit handier to get that blend that I want. And then I filled up the white stripes with the lightest marker as well. Like that. Really simple, not doing shadowing over there. And then the only thing left is the package. There I'm combining both of the colors. So I really took my time here, also just in case you're thinking that I'm coloring this quick. That's not the case at all. This is sped through, it's like 350% of my actual coloring. So here I definitely took my time because there are small areas. There are lots of ways to go outside the lines, which I don't prefer doing. And so I went a bit more slowly than, for example, the koala, where you have lots of room to blend and get those colors on there. I also decided to add a little bit of color on that tag, but just a bit of flicking with an E51, E51. And that's it. That's the coloring, really simple. Now for the rest of the card, or how the card came together, I took the A2 layers die from Waffle Flowers. It's a basic that I lately use more often because you can create your A2 size panels. You can create just gorgeous frames with it by combining two of these rectangles. And I also took the Christmas words #1 from Hello Bluebird to cut out that gorgeous Merry scripty word. And I cut it out of Gold Dust glitter cardstock from Tonic Studios. And then I'm going to die cut my image out just using the biggest A2 sized rectangle. I'm also going to cut out a frame using the two largest rectangles from this A2 layers die, but that you will see later on. And then I decided to just add a little bit of cracked pistachio on the edges of my panel just to have a tiny bit of a glow, and it goes so well with the combination of the BGs. So that was an easy choice. And then of course cracked pistachio is my favorite distress ink, and well, it's also a color for sky, so really easy. So once I got that, I die cut that frame, as I said. I'm just going to simply adhere it with some liquid glue on the edge of my panel. And then afterwards I will add the Merry on top as well. So I took my time to line it up before pressing it really well. Wiggled it a bit around, and then I continued. So to add the Merry, I'm using my reverse tweezers. It's really handy. This way I can add as much liquid glue as I need to, and there is just a small area that I cannot add any liquid glue on. And it also helps me to position instead of having my thick fingers in the way of lining this thing up. After pressing it down, I decided that I wanted some embellishments as well. So I took the Itty Bitty Stars Matte Gold from Little Things from Lucy's cards. It goes so well with this Gold Dust glitter cardstock. So I just spread it around, and once I was happy with placement, I adhered everything using the liquid glue again. I also added a star on this ornament. I thought it was a nice detail. You don't need to, you can add it anywhere. I also limited the amount of stars. I didn't want to go overboard, but again, you can go overboard if you want to. And after contemplating quite a while, because placing embellishments is hard, I adhered everything. But as you can see, I'm just moving this one star around, and there are so many more options to add it, so just play around with it, add the stars that you want to, wherever you want to. Just have fun. And I truly think that I left all the thinking processes in this video. Normally when I get bored of it, I just skip through it to sort of shorten the video a bit for you guys, but I thought it was also a bit handy to see for you that it isn't always well, it's not always a quick fix. It just isn't, but as long as you're happy with the end result, then it was worth the search and fiddling and all the removing and adding and stuff. So also, once I was happy, I took my embellishment wand. It's the one from Studio Katja that I have. It's a really handy tool. There are many other tools out there that have the same purpose, but I didn't have it in the beginning. And once I bought, I think I first got the quick stick tool. It's just a lifesaver. It changes everything. It goes way quicker, and it's way more fun actually to add those embellishments in place this way. And then I use the bag to just press it down really well into that liquid glue. Now I decided to add this panel on top of a card base. And then to finish it completely, I also added some glossy accents. Because there are many areas where you can add some glossy accents and have fun, even stickles, but I didn't add it. Now that I'm doing the voiceover, I just realized that normally I do stickles on top of the head on the white areas, That's why I didn't color it in, but I didn't add stickers in this case. I don't know why. There is no logic to it. It's gorgeous, however, but I think it could definitely add a bit more glitter if you would add the stickers. So I went with the glossy accents on the ornaments, on the nose. I thought it was really, really cute, and that's it. This is my card for today. Again, this is a second video. There is also a video on the Rachelle Anne Miller YouTube channel, so definitely check it out. I am over there every month with some new inspiration. So let me know what you think about that card as well. I would really like to know. Thank you so much for stopping by and taking the time to watch this video. I truly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I wish you all an incredible day. Bye!